Hey guys, and welcome to another GameXplain discussion. I'm your host, Eric Bittner, and I'm joined today by Chris Kerberfer-Niosi to discuss the reveal of Shulk in Super Smash Bros. So let's get started. So Chris, I would say it wasn't expected, but I will say, because of the whole leak situation, but I will say that this was a nice capper to a week that was honestly kind of dull. So it's nice to get a brand new character. It's nice to see Shulk get revealed, but I've already said my basic thoughts in the earlier direct discussion, but I'm curious what your thoughts are.
The hype was real on this one for a long time. I can still recall talking with a few friends of mine back when I was in New York about the possibility of him being in there after the Gamatsu leak or whatever it was. As someone who hasn't played any of the Xeno series before, I don't share in the excitement too much, but I certainly appreciate it because I've been seeing my timeline just filled up with just people super excited for it, and I think that's great. He looks really interesting. He plays kind of like how a lot of my friends who are fans of Xenoblade kind of predicted he would, which I'm sure we'll get into. But for me, like whenever there's been cases like this, if it's a character that I'm not super familiar with or attached to, for me, I just get excited for the fact that, oh, this is going to be an interesting and different kind of character. Which, despite being another swordsman, he definitely seems like he has a lot of unique features to him. So that's exciting.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I would have, I knew you didn't have any experience with Xenoblade. I've only played a little bit of Xenoblade myself. And when I say little, I mean only 20 hours of a 200-hour game. Of course, there's Chugga Conroy, who is in love with this game, and I would have loved to get him on here along with us, except that unfortunately he's at PAX and he's not. He's sick and he can't even talk it at the moment. I'm pretty sure is the case. So if you're wondering why I don't have Chugga on here, that is why. I just in regards to his health.
You got stuck with me instead.
Haha, you fools. No, Chris is obviously, it's great to have Chris here because Andre and Ash are at PAX as well. So I'm kind of like, we're holding down the fort as it is. But no, I totally agree with you. Even though I don't have as much experience with Shulk as many others, but I still got this sense of his character, and I did really want to see him because he is quite unique. I mean, you can definitely classify him as a swordsman character, but he plays so much more differently than any other that we've seen to this point. And I don't think we've ever seen a character be this reliant on buffs.
I think as of Brawl in particular, I noticed that a lot of the items that were later integrated into the game were kind of like, what if you could just use another character's move, as an all-purpose weapon or whatever. Like even in the case of with Mega Man, they were comparing the Crash Bomb to like the Sticky Bomb, which was an item previously. In the case of Shulk, it seems like a lot of his combat is based on like power-ups that potentially you could be given through using items, like Sakurai was listing the list of different Monado arts that he could switch between. I'm assuming probably through like one of his B special moves, and you could give yourself the properties of like say wearing the bunny hood or wearing the metal block or whatever. And it seems like there are weaknesses that come with each of the buffs as well. I think that being able to keep track of it almost seems like kind of like I said, I think on another discussion, that Rosalina and Luma seem like a little bit more of an improved version of the mechanics of the Ice Climbers. I feel like kind of like this is a bit of an improved version of the Pokemon Trainer, in that you had to balance the 3 different Pokemon and switch them out so they wouldn't get too tired or whatever. In this case, you have to think about, okay, I have I have the Buster Monado art activated, so my attacks will be stronger, but I have to make sure that I can switch to something else that can launch them farther. I have to switch to the Smash ability, quickly, like after I build up their damage or whatever. So keeping track of that while you're playing, I think, makes for a really interesting kind of strategy that comes with them. Kind of like how with Robin as well, with his different tomes and things.
Yeah, it did remind me quite a bit of Robin, and how the fact that you really you can't just mash away, you got to really think about how they play and take into account their abilities in order to most effectively use them. And just to go over the list of Monado arts that it's been confirmed that he can use, we have Jump, which allows him to jump higher but has a lower defense, Speed, which gives him faster movement but he has weaker attacks, Shield, which gives him higher defense but slower movement, Buster, which is stronger attacks but a weaker launch ability, and Smash, which gives us stronger launch ability but weaker attacks and lower defense against launching. So I love stuff that balances stuff by, okay, we'll improve you in this in this way, but you're weakened in this way. And I don't know, I love that you have to think on your feet, and use it properly. Now, will he be a character I end up using a lot? I'm not sure, because there is a lot to keep track of here. But I love the idea that he's just so different.
I also wonder about, as I was looking through the screenshot of the different symbols and things, I wonder about, like, how exactly does that work? Like, I'm imagining something offhandedly, like you press the B button and then, like, he does a pose, and then, like, you push a direction on the control pad or something, and then he switches to a particular symbol that way. Or maybe, like, it's randomized, or maybe it's like Pac-Man's bonus fruit ability, where, like, you hold it down for a certain amount of time to activate a particular type or whatever. It's, just even, like, thinking about, like, how does this work? Like, I find it really intriguing. Or maybe even, like, just his B moves are switching between the different arts, and then his A moves are the main things that are affected by that or something.
That could be. I know one of his specials already is a counterattack, which takes the form of him being able to see the future, thanks to the Monado, the sword he's using. And it's it's just your basic counterattack, but it does make sense as far as the game he's from. So obviously it's not down B, and I don't think it's his recovery. I think I've seen at least a little bit showing that his recovery looks to be a lot like Mars, where it's just a quick attack upwards strike. So that only leaves side B and regular B. So I think you might be right when it comes to these arts, that maybe he holds them down and it switches between them, and rather than starting from the same place each time, it just whenever he pushes the B button. So let's say you start a fight and you push the B button, you get jump right away, but you want to get the shield, so you stop at shield. But then you want to switch over to something else, and rather than start back at jump, you start at shield and continue to cycle through that way. I mean, that makes the most sense, just to try to clear up buttons as much as possible. But it is really difficult to say how exactly that'll work.
In addition, I don't know if you guys covered some of this stuff on the previous discussion, but before we started recording, I was talking with my friend Jordan, who's one of my great background artists on Tome, and she is a big fan of Xenoblade, so she knows the game in and out, and was telling me a little bit about some of the lore and everything. So we were seeing in the trailer that what appears to be his final smash, kind of also like with Robin summoning Chrom, Shulk's final smash is summoning his friends Dunban and Riki from Xenoblade Chronicles, and they seem to join him in like a big super party attack that I guess is kind of reminiscent of the battles that actually take place in the game, which is kind of cool to see a little throwback to that as well. Not just another example of, like, between that and his playstyle of, like, we're building these characters to play as close to how they would play in the game that they come from, in the form of a fighting game. I find that's really effective and helps with making each of them so unique and cool. In addition to that, because we saw a taste of his Xenoblade Chronicles stage, GameXplain. So I forgive me, Xenoblade fans, I can't remember the name of the monster in the background. I know it's one of the ancient, like, beings.
I think it's the Mechonis.
Okay, right. Jordan was also telling me apparently the character that made a little shadowed appearance at the end of the trailer is Metal Face, which I believe is the first boss in the game, who becomes like a constant threat to Shulk throughout the course of the story. Mm-hmm. So maybe we'll have him as a Yellow Devil equivalent coming in and taunting you and messing with you or something.
It would make sense, because we didn't get to see a good look at the stage itself, but it seems like there's two levels with an open, like it's there's two levels to the stage, at least that we could see so far, but they're spread to the sides, with the middle being completely open. So it's a weird combination of being both open but also kind of small, because you do have those sides that you can just walk off from. But it does look like a very interesting stage, and I could definitely see Metal Face show up and do his whole thing. It's interesting that Jordan brought up the whole idea of when Dunban and Riki showing up. It didn't occur to me that was part of the game, where you can get your infinity up and you can do like these attacks that combine all the abilities of your current party. So it's a nice reference to that, like she said. So it's, as you said, it's really cool to see all the ways they're referencing back to this original game. And I'm really excited to hear what kind of music we're going to get from this, because even just playing a little bit, the music in Xenoblade Chronicles is fantastic.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. I think I even recall seeing the composer on the music page as well, so I'm sure they probably had a hand in doing like a new Smash-style remix of some track from the game, like mixed in there as well.
Oh yeah, and I think I didn't realize this at first, but apparently Yoko Shimomura did help with a few of the tracks, which Mario and Luigi and Kingdom Hearts soundtrack as well. Exactly.
That's my favorite. She's my girl.
Mm-hmm.
I say that like I know her. No, I don't. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we don't know her, but we appreciate her.
People know I do. Yeah, on the stage too. That sounded really bad. On the stage too. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the wide open, lots of room to just play kind of levels in Smash in general. I've always been a big fan of those, as opposed to the kind of close quarters like Final Destination-esque kind of battlefields, and Battlefield. But yeah, so that's exciting. My friend, I just remembered too. My friend Mike Lucas, who I mentioned in another episode, was making a joke about, if the duck hunt thing turns out to be true, this level almost looks like it could be a duck hunt kind of setup, because it's just a wide open field with the sky in the background. And then I just imagine, like, in what is it, in Melee, where I think in All-Star mode they had the Jungle Jape stage be Young Link's level, because it looked kind of like the Kokiri Forest house or something. It's like close enough. It'd be funny if the Xenoblade level is shared by Shulk and the duck on top. He just pops out of the background.
That would be amazing. I guess that's a good point. We should probably address that. Definitely is the leak, because I think this pretty much confirms it.
Confirms the Gamatsu leak, if anything.
It definitely confirms the Gamatsu leak. It definitely seems to play into the hands of the leak that we talked about not too long ago, because a lot of people have already taken his character portrait artwork and compared it to the artwork they showed in his character selection screen from that leak, and they match almost exactly.
Oh, wow, okay.
So there's that whole thing. There's the fact that it also pointed out that the Gower Plains would be his level. There's just a lot of just evidence built up that shows that it does appear that the leak is real, which...
Lawsuit!
Yeah. That's already happened as far as I know.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, in some ways, it's good to know, because I like the lineup they showed, other than a few stray ones, but I need to see them in person in order to really give my thoughts. So yeah, I think on the surface, I think it's dumb to have clones like Dr. Mario and Dark Pit in there, even though it's cool to have kind of a new character with Dark Pit. It sucks because you don't get that look at him that you get with Shulk's reveal here, where you get this nice little taste, you get a sense of how he plays, and you're more willing to accept it. When you just hear straight out Dr. Mario, it's like, well, what's that mean? Is it going to be just the same? And you start imagining the worst case scenario. And I think that's why a lot of people were against this leak, including myself, other than the whole fact that, well, thanks for ruining the surprise, jackass.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. There's nothing we can do about it now. And yeah, I mean, we could talk about the leak for, more and more ages, but we've done so many videos about that already. It's like, what else is there to say other than, all right, well, here's what we have in front of us, and now, we'll just continue to analyze what it is that hasn't been spoiled for us.
Yeah, exactly.
So on Anime News Network, I saw this morning, and linked to you guys, there was another Japanese, I guess, exclusive trailer with additional information, just kind of about the game in general, like, promoting it overall and showing the different features.
It's kind of a rundown trailer, as far as I can tell, just listing off all the features and showing some stuff off.
So in that, it seems that they have also confirmed, I guess, from the 3DS version leak, a few other stages that we saw in the the microscopic screenshot of the stage select screen, including, I think Corneria is mixed in there.
Corneria, Yoshi's Island, and the Distant Planet from Pikmin. All three of which were in that leak, so that's just further proof.
I don't mind the old stages. It's fun to see the mix of them in there. I'm sure we'll probably have more new stuff for the Wii U version in terms of levels. So
that's what I suspect too, but it's still kind of there's still a little disappointment there. The fact that they weren't able to create new stages for all the characters, especially when they said there was going to be such a focus on portable games and portable stages. And we get a little bit of that, but there's still more you wish they could have done. Though I am really excited for the Game Boy stage, just because of all the possibilities they can do with that. So I don't know. I mean, I think on the most part the stages are good. It's just it's the common greed when it comes to Nintendo games. It's like, well, I'd like this too. I'd like this new stuff, and you just got to accept the fact that these are two very big games, and there's just not going to be enough time to put in 60 new stages just between the two versions.
It's not a major loss or anything. I mean, because they're levels that were always proven to be fun, and I mean, the game itself, I'm sure, is going to be great. So it's no big loss that we have that. Going through this, so they're kind of just running through a lot of the basic stuff we already know about the different modes and things. One thing that I did notice, mixed in with, we have the multi-man melee with the Mii fighters, the target blast, Angry Birds kind of thing. And I did notice kind of mixed in there, I believe I saw something that might be kind of an equivalent to like, if not like Race to the Finish, it looks kind of like the Gourmet Race, because there's like this kind of Kirby-esque open field world with a goal at the end. So maybe they have some kind of racing game of some kind.
That'd be really cool.
Into there, yeah.
Because there has to be a reason to get the speed stats. So if the final competition between everybody is based on speed, that'd be perfect for a gourmet race type challenge. Another
thing that we have in there when they're exemplifying the customizable move sets is we get another preview as to what some of the other customizable special moves for Kirby are going to be, including, and I apologize, I don't know absolutely every one of these words, but offhandedly, I'm seeing that there's, so for Kirby's standard B, the Inhale, he has, the 2 additional ones are some sort of like Ice Breath, which I am a big fan of, and some kind of like jumping Inhale, where like he leaps forward and tries to eat you, kind of like a chomp.
That's kind of awesome, honestly. When I saw that in the trailer, I got a laugh out of it, just because it's like Kirby's being proactive. He just jumps forward, grabs him, and swallows him whole.
Yeah. For the side B, we have the now upgraded hammer with the sort of the flip attack, the little fire thing, which you can do in Kirby Superstar, and then some kind of, I think, a smaller hammer, maybe like, and then a big hammer, probably slower, I imagine, but packs a wallop. Probably like DDD's hammer, if anything. His up B, he's got the regular Final Cutter. Can't tell what the second one is. Having trouble transliterating what the katakana for that is. But the third one seems to be Rising Cutter. So maybe it's more like Marth's up B attack, the Dolphin Slash. For down B, we got the Stone, some kind of bigger stone. And the third one seems to be Meteor Stone. So I guess it turns his down B into an instant meteor attack that would spike you immediately down. That could be pretty useful.
It seems like what we've seen so far with the customizable moves is that sometimes they can be either quicker but not quite as strong, or strong but not nearly as quick. But other times they decide to add elements to it, like we saw with Kirby and his Ice Breath, or even the Meteor attack with his down special. So I do like that they're playing with what these do and not just saying, okay, we're gonna have a quicker version, we're gonna have a slower version, and we're good to go. They are taking some time to really think about these, and we've seen them go all out with some of them, like Mega Man with his being able to use Beat as one of his recovery moves.
Knowing how the customizable moves work now, I'm really excited to see what, like for Mega Man and some of the other more like bizarre characters, like with their movesets, seeing how those are going to be, given variety and stuff. Seeing some of the features that we've been told about in the game before, play out is really great. And yeah, just more reason to be excited. We're coming up on just a little over a month now until this game releases, so
and it's all going to get blown out before that, because I think Ash said it's only about 10 more picks of the day until the Japanese release.
Oh my god, is it the middle of September when they get it?
Yeah, they get it about 2 weeks before us.
Oh boy, oh boy.
So that's going to be big, and that's, they have to start releasing some big things here, which we've seen a little bit with the music, and of course we got the new character Shulk, but there's a lot of characters. If this, assuming this leak is completely real, there's a lot of characters they have to reveal yet.
Yeah, that's true. Then again, I mean, it depends on how many they want to maybe keep secret to just be unlockable when you play the game itself. So who knows? But I mean, if that leak turns out to be true, then I guess the last mystery to solve is just about the DLC, because we still don't have any more definite confirmation about that either. But
there was the whole thing that the guy said that DLC was fake, but who knows? All we know is that the roster is not complete, despite this other leak that showed off some of these characters. So I mean, it's something interesting. At the very least, it's good to finally see Shulk in his full glory rather than just some blurry pictures. So this is this is a lot more my speed when it comes to new Smash information. Alright guys, well I think that about covers it for our discussion of Shulk. So thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to like us on Facebook and Twitter at GameXplain. And of course, stay tuned to GameXplain for more on Smash and other things gaming too. Until next time guys, bye.